Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead. Time for another canning video. Surprise, right? This one also is part of the collaboration. It is hashtag March Canning Madness. So if you want to join, it's an open collab. Anybody can join it. So you just need to put the hashtag March Canning Madness. And then at Cosmopolitan Cornbread. And then she'll add you to the list. Be sure that you add, comments to every video that you watch. Go to the other channels and check theirs out because they've got a lot of really good videos too. And if you like their channels, make sure you like, share, and subscribe with them as well. But do not forget to comment because that's how the winner is going to be picked. And I'm sure anybody could use a steam canner, right? That is a good thing. And then there's prizes as well for the contributors. And that's always a good thing too. She is not funded by anyone else, so all these prizes that she's giving out is out of her own pocket. So please, even after you watch all the other channels and her few canning videos that she has for during the Canning Madness, make sure you watch her other ones too. She is a Christian-based channel, and she's awesome. I just love her to pieces. So this week I had gotten pork loin on sale for $1.59, which here in Michigan is really cheap. It's been running $3 a pound. And I first went and bought 5 and made them into pork chops. Then I decided to go back and buy 6 more because it is so tender and just so good that I'm like, I need to put some of that on my shelf. So we're going to can pork loin today, but I want to tell you a little bit about pork loin. We did turkey. And pork is just a little bit firmer meat, so it's not going to break down as bad. It will still break down when you're taking it out of the jar. I am using wide mouth because I remember to have Tom bring those up. But with these, the pork loin, you could make them in just regular meals. You could do pulled pork sandwiches, pulled pork barbecued sandwiches, mac and cheese with pulled pork on top. Just all kinds of stuff. You could use them in casseroles, soups, all kinds of stuff. So when you think about canned pork, what am I going to do with it? There's a whole lot you could do with it. And actually, if you wanted to, you could cut your chunks up and you could add barbecue sauce or, pasta sauce or something else. Those things are not going to change your canning time because your canning time is always going to be meat time. So the only thing that's more than meat time actually is fish. And I think that's 120 minutes. It's a long time. I've canned it before. But you can always put something different in your jar. If you choose to flavor it, you can do that. If you want to put garlic powder and onion powder and all that good stuff in it, you can do that. Now, the way that I do my whole meat like this is always going to be raw pack. Usually there's enough fat in the meat that it makes a beautiful liquid that goes around it, and it's normally, believe it or not, enough to cover up the meat just like the turkey was. And I learned through the turkey, I made gravy for the first time with it, and it turned out just absolutely beautiful. So like I say, I bought 6 more. If I don't need all that, then I will cut it up, put it in my freezer. I will suck out the air and put it in my freezer. So let's get down here and get to business. I've got some beautiful loins. And the thing with loins is, you can do the chunks as big as you want. I'm doing probably just about 1 inch. And the thing about the loins is they're already cut, pretty, like, right down the half. And these weren't huge loins either. But they were nice size, you know what I mean? And if it's got too much fat on it for you, you can cut that fat off there. You do not have to keep all that fat. So I'm figuring 2 loins, which would be 1 actually per jar, is what I'm figuring. But maybe I'll be off on that too. Who knows? You never know with canning. That's why I have them. They're partially still frozen. So it's no big deal to cut them up and put them back in the freezer to use at a different time. You know what I mean? And when you get a chance, I am a diehard believer, and people, part of my channel, they'll tell you, if I can get good deals like this, I'm going to can it, freeze it, dehydrate it, whatever I have to do to save the big money on my meat, because meat prices have just went through the roof. And, you know, if you have people that like meat, they want it at their supper time, you know, or whatever. And so if you can still have all of that, but at a reduced cost, you know, I say let's go for it. Now, you're going to want to do this up to the 1-inch head space. But if you notice, I've got a lot of spaces right there that's got air in it. So let's get my debubbler, and then you'll see I probably will have just enough meat in there. Because air actually is not a good thing for canning. You want to get those air bubbles out of there, because they say it allows bacteria to grow in bubbles and everything else. So you want to take as much of that out. With your meat like this, it's going to be hard to get them all out. It just is. But now once I push that down, it's right at my 1-inch head space. Alright, so let me fill a few more and then I'll be back. Okay, so be sure that you don't skip this step. Make sure that after you debubbled, you always clean your lids, your rims, sorry. Always get them all mixed up. And something else I forget to tell you guys when I'm canning. Make sure that your lids, your rings, everything is clean. Your workspace, have the proper amount of water in your canner. All those good things so that you're rearing and ready to go. Now, I did have one pork loin left. So, it was still 90% froze, so I just put it back in the freezer. Now, I know this is a canning video, but let's get that lid on there. Sometimes she wants to be touchy. She's from 1974, so she's getting old and she can be touchy if she wants to. She's my favorite. Above my big one even. But this one you're going to let steam for a constant 10 minutes. And then you're going to put your jiggler on there. And it's going to go for 90 minutes because it's quarts. If it was pints, 75 minutes. Now, like I was saying, I know this is a canning video, but if you get a chance to get, you know, pork loin or anything like that really cheap, you know, you can grind it up and make sausage. You can can it, you can freeze it, anything. So if you have a chance to save a lot of money, you know, like with this 7, and then I've got a couple of packages that I did up the other day, and then I have 3 loins in the freezer, I have enough pork to last the rest of the year. You can do ground pork with it, sausage, just about anything you want. I might actually look for a recipe that calls for pork in it to can. I don't know, I haven't found one, but I did do one last year, and I'm not going to do that video again, but oh, I gave it away for Christmas gifts for the kids and my daughter-in-law's mom, and it was really good. It was really, really good. So when you get sales, especially now, things are rough for everybody. You know, try to stock up on it if you can. If you can't, then you can't. But, you know, if you've got, I think for all of that, and I got 12 of them, it cost me 40 bucks. I mean, you can't eat much cheaper than that. So that is a lot of meals. So I'm going to let this go. I'll finish it up. And then I'll take you over there on the other side of the kitchen and show you what it looks like when it's done. So there we go. 7 beautiful quarts of pork. And now look at the juice that's in there. Now remember, I didn't add any water, nothing. And that juice now can be used for gravy. And in the back you can see where it's still cooking. Now I always forget to say, make sure you let them sit 12 to 24 hours. Then you want to wash them off with soap and water and take the rings off and then store them. And I've already labeled them because I knew how many I was going to do. So make sure you label them, wash them, take the rings off, and put them on your pantry shelf. You guys have a blessed day. Be a blessing, and make sure you check out the other channels. And make sure you like, share, subscribe, and put beautiful comments so you can be put in the drawing.